every single night. Around 1:30 in the morning, I'd hear it, thud, then, ow, what the, followed by angry whispering in the hallway outside my bedroom. And every single time, I smiled into my pillow, because after surviving years of sharing a bedroom with my older sister, watching her stub her toe on random objects outside my room became the most healing experience of my life. Petty? Absolutely. Deserve? You have no idea. If you ever lived with a nightmare sibling, had your privacy destroyed, or spent years being treated like your comfort didn't matter, this story will feel painfully satisfying. If you enjoy petty revenge stories, family drama, and those tiny moments of karma that somehow feel way more satisfying, then they should hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because today's story proves something important. Sometimes revenge isn't dramatic. Sometimes it's just a strategically placed shoe in a dark hallway. My name's Ava, and growing up, I genuinely believed my older sister Lauren existed solely to make my life stressful. We grew up in a small house outside Portland, Oregon. Lauren was 3 years older than me, and from the outside she looked like the cool older sister. Outgoing, always surrounded by friends. But living with her? Completely different story. Especially once we started sharing a bedroom. Imagine the messiest person you've ever met. Now multiply that by entitlement and zero respect for anyone else's space. That was Lauren. Clothes everywhere. Half-empty soda cans. Makeup smeared across the dresser. Food wrappers shoved under bed. The worst part? She acted like I was unreasonable for wanting basic cleanliness. I'd spend hours cleaning our room just for her to destroy it again within 2 days. And she never respected my stuff either. She borrowed my sweaters without asking, used my shampoo, took money straight from my backpack. One time she borrowed $40 I'd saved for concert tickets and denied it so confidently that my parents actually believed her. I remember sitting on the bathroom floor afterward, trying not to cry because nobody seemed to understand how exhausting it was living with someone who treated your existence like an inconvenience. But nighttime was the worst. Lauren never slept. She'd stay up until 2 or 3 in the morning talking loudly on the phone, blasting music, or stumbling in and out of the room after sneaking out with friends. Meanwhile, I had school, tests, early mornings. I became permanently exhausted. There were nights I'd lie in bed staring at the ceiling while her phone glowed across the room and genuinely fantasize about living literally anywhere else. Eventually, I stopped sleeping in the room altogether. Seriously, I basically moved into our basement. Every night, I'd wait for my dad to finish watching late-night TV downstairs so I could finally spread blankets across the old couch and get a few hours of peace. I cried down there more than once. Not dramatic crying. Just quiet frustration, the kind where you feel invisible in your own home. And the thing that hurt most? Nobody really did anything. My parents constantly said things like, "You girls need to work it out yourselves." Then finally, everything changed. Lauren moved out at 21. The day she packed her car honestly felt spiritual. The second she drove away, I walked back into that room and just stood there in silence. For the first time in years. It was quiet, no clutter, no yelling, no chaos, just peace. I spent an entire weekend cleaning every inch of that room. I threw away garbage bags full of junk she abandoned behind. And slowly, the room became mine. I painted the walls soft gray, bought plants, hung warm fairy lights, organized everything perfectly. It became my sanctuary. For the first time in my life, I had a space that actually felt safe. Then 2 years later, Lauren came back. Apparently her relationship exploded. She lost her apartment, and suddenly she needed somewhere to stay temporarily. The second my mom told me, my stomach dropped, because I already knew the question everyone was silently thinking. Would I give the big bedroom back? Absolutely not. Not a chance. Shockingly, my parents actually agreed with me. So Lauren got the smaller guest room down the hall instead. And let me tell you, she was furious. Passive-aggressive comments, little sighs, fake jokes about how spoiled my room looked now. Meanwhile, she also brought home a hyperactive orange cat named Mango that spent every night sprinting to the hallway, while Lauren disappeared to bars with friends. But the funniest part? Lauren still kept coming into my room constantly. Why? Because I had the best mirrors in the house. Every evening before going out, she'd stomp dramatically down the hallway, enter my room without knocking, use my mirror, steal my perfume half the time, then leave like the room still belonged to her emotionally. At first, I tolerated it. Then one night around midnight, I heard, "Ow, are you kidding me?" I opened the door and found Lauren hopping on one foot beside a pair of boots I'd left in the hallway. And suddenly, an idea formed. After that, random objects kept mysteriously appearing outside my room. Nothing dangerous, just mildly annoying. A shoe, a laundry basket, a rolled-up blanket, always enough to trigger an irritated toe stub during her late-night mirror visits. And every single time, same reaction. Why is this here? This hallway is impossible. Oh my God. Meanwhile, I'd lie in bed, silently grinning into my blanket. The best part? She could never fully complain without admitting she kept invading my room constantly. So she just suffered an angry silence. Night after night. Tiny inconvenience after tiny inconvenience. Honestly, it healed something in me. Because for once, her comfort wasn't automatically more important than mine. One night around 2 a.m., I heard the loudest crash yet. Then complete silence. I opened my door carefully and found Lauren sitting on the hallway floor glaring at a small basket she tripped over. She looked exhausted, annoyed, defeated. Then she looked up at me and snapped. "Why do you keep leaving stuff here?" And without missing a beat, I replied, "Why do you keep coming into my room?" Silence. Pure silence. For once, she had absolutely nothing to say. And honestly, that moment felt better than any argument we'd ever had growing up. Looking back now, I know the revenge was petty, ridiculously petty, but after years of feeling powerless in my own space, those tiny moments of karma felt strangely therapeutic. Because sometimes revenge isn't about hurting someone. Sometimes it's simply reclaiming peace after someone spent years taking it from you.